Okay, welcome to another episode of Pretty Open-Minded. I'm going to be filming another episode talking about a bunch of random things. So if this is something that you like, let me know by liking, commenting, sharing, all that good stuff. All of my socials. My podcast is also available on Spotify if you're not like into the YouTube thing. It helps me out a lot if you give it a listen. And also turn on your post notifications. I've been trying to film this video since yesterday, but I kept getting distractions, so hopefully it isn't bad today, because I've been wanting to film a podcast episode for a while, but it's just like either I'm too tired. The first thing I want to mention is that I did dye my hair. I dyed it jet black, and it wasn't really what I wanted, because I thought that it was going to be like more just like a black. But I really should have gone for an auburn because I look really good in auburn, but now it's going to take me so freaking long to lift the color because it's completely black and it barely budged on lightening. So it's going to take me so many times to figure out how to lighten it. It's going to be insufferable. But sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. But I've had it for like a week or two already. So yeah. Another thing is school. I started school like a couple weeks ago. Definitely been something. So this is at a different campus than the one I'm normally used to, and the first day of school was so hectic for me. I still need to post that vlog. It's probably gonna be really long, but it's taking me forever to edit because it's like also meshed in with my birthday vlog, so it's kind of like, because it's very close together. So it was hard. I got lost on the way to school, and we ended up getting stranded. We, as in me and these two random girls I've never met before, we just happened to go to the same campus, and they asked me, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to that campus. And they kept looking at me for directions, even though I told them like I don't know what I'm doing, I'm just going off of the Google Maps. But I found out that the bus that I was taking takes two different directions, and I didn't know. So when I was getting off the bus, he was basically saying that we were on the wrong bus, because on the Google Maps it makes it seem like the bus that we're taking just is that specific bus, if that makes sense. Like it's only that bus, and it seems like it goes one direction. But it took me 2 weeks to figure out that it takes two directions. And so when we got stranded, we were kind of like freaking out, and I was like really internally freaking out because we had like, at that point, I think 30-40-ish minutes until our classes start. So I was like, oh my god, like I was internally freaking out. But it was our first time meeting, so I didn't want to like flip out on them, because it was no one's fault really, because we didn't know that it went two different directions. And when I asked for directions to the driver, he was like, oh, you have to go over here. And then he wasn't really like helpful. He kind of just felt like he was kind of just treating us like it was like we were a burden. So it was kind of annoying. He was saying that there was like a what is it called, like a stop like across the street, but I didn't see one. So we ended up taking an Uber there. One of the girls paid for it. It was like $10, which let me know that we weren't even that far away from school. It's technically supposed to be like a 10-minute ride, but where the route that the bus driver was taking us, it was like I heard it goes up really far. So I was like, I didn't know, but we were by airport, I believe. So crazy part is she bought the Uber, and I was kind of freaking out about that because where we stopped at was at a really busy street, and I was feeling really like exposed and just very vulnerable because a lot of weirdos were staring at us. And I'm like, oh, this would be the perfect time to just swipe us right now, because we don't know what we're doing. But I also have survival instincts, so I'm not gonna just like allow anyone to just come up to me. But the girl bought the Uber, and then she was like, oh, he doesn't know where we are. But in my head I was like, obviously, because we were in a busy street, and I was like thinking like, where is he gonna stop? So we ended up crossing the street, and trying to go more down, and she wasn't like really sure on where he was at. He was like saying, oh, are you, because she kept calling like every 5 minutes. So he was saying like, oh, are you guys by a Starbucks? And she lied and admitted that she lied, and she was like, yeah, we're by a Starbucks. And let me tell you, when we were coming down, I never saw a Starbucks, so I don't know where he got that from, because I was just like, I don't know where he got the Starbucks accusation from, because I've never seen one. All I saw was just like a bunch of restaurants and a bar. So I was like, I don't know where he got that info from. So she's like, yeah, I lied and said we were at Starbucks. And then I snapped at her because I was like, why would you lie? Because obviously like the longer that he's looking for us, she's getting charged for it. And I don't know if she has like a lot of money to cover that. And it will be embarrassing on her part. I know it wasn't her money, but I was kind of like hinting like, hey, like you're gonna get charged for how long he's waiting. And she's like, yeah, I know. But they had like no survival instincts. The girl that was the thicker one, like she kept getting left behind by her friend, so I had to keep stopping and checking on her because she was bigger, she was on the bigger side, and she wasn't keeping up with us. So I kept checking and seeing if she was okay, but she was she was out of breath, she was tired, and also it was very hot in the morning. It was 9 in the morning and it was extremely hot. It's crazy how it was already like probably like 80 degrees at that point, but it was crazy, honestly. So then we get down the street and there's a car that pulled up, and immediately they go into it. And I'm like, hey, I'm kind of nervous about this. Can I see the license plate? Because he didn't know a lot of English, and I'm not about to go into some random dude's car just because I'm running late for school. Like, school can wait. My safety is more important, honestly. So she let me have her phone, and she was reading out the thing. And I was like, okay. So I go in there with them, and we rushed to school. And it was crazy, and I kept stressing as I was like sitting in my chair for my first class. I was like, oh my god, how am I gonna get to school, because this is kind of crazy. Like, I don't want to keep doing that. But then it happened again the second week of school, and this time I was completely by myself, and I was anxious only because I knew that I was going to be extremely late. I was still trying to figure out the routes, and I asked the dude like, oh, well, first I asked this random girl, and I was like, hey, is this going to this destination? And she's like, I don't know. And then I was like, I looked around, and normally there's a lot of college students that are on there, but I looked around and it was mostly older people. So I was like, oh, I'm on the wrong bus again. So then I asked the bus driver again. This is a totally different one. He was nicer to me. He actually stopped at a place for me and told me where to stay at, and then he said I need to keep asking like if it's going to where I need to go to, because I'm gonna keep getting stranded if I don't ask for guidance, and I don't want to keep getting stranded because it's not fun. Because I ended up being like 30 minutes late, which means that I only had 20 minutes left of class, and I didn't learn a single thing. So it was kind of embarrassing to walk in class completely covered in sweat. My perfume was already worn off, and I just looked really crazy. And so I was just like, oh my god, this is embarrassing. I did email my teacher. I didn't message my teacher. I didn't email her because I couldn't remember if she liked email or message, but I messaged her, so she never even saw that message. So I was super duper like freaked out the whole time, because it was like basically like a detour thing, so it took up a lot of time, but it was still insane. So I was like TikToking, like making a video for TikTok and talking about how I was super duper, like I said, taking public transportation is very, very humbling, and I get more frustrated with it than like happy with it, because it's a lot of waiting in the heat. And like there's been times where I had to wait really, really early in the morning, like 6 o'clock in the morning, and it'll be dark as shit out, and I wouldn't know what's around me because there wouldn't be a lot of street lights. So it was stressful because and I would be by myself a lot of the time, so it would just be kind of scary to deal with that. And then on top of that, like they're late a lot of the times, so it's just kind of annoying. But I do have a driver's license, I just can't afford a car. That is why I don't have a car. And plus, on top of that, I would have to go back to driving school and take driving lessons because I completely forgot how to drive. So yeah, I haven't drove in 4 years, and that's a whole different story. But that's a lot, and I'm probably gonna have to go up to the one that's closer to me, even though I would rather go to the one that's across town. But it's just kind of like, I don't know, I would really have to think about it. And it's also an investment. Like, it was going well for me, but then the thing that was annoying was that technically my father was supposed to buy me my first car, but then I got excited and I told him, and I kept thinking that, oh, he was really gonna come through for me, but he never did. So I have to pull that for myself. I have to do that for myself. So yeah, it's annoying because I really thought, you know, out of the one time I thought he would really pull through for me, but he never did. And I would bring it up, and then he'll be like, oh, like he'll like make excuses a lot. And there was also another talk where this is when I was like dirt broke too, which it was very valid to bring this up. So he was also saying this wasn't like a very valid point to not buy it because he promised me, but he was like, oh, like, how are you gonna pay for the payments if you don't have any money coming in? And I was like, well, obviously I was thinking about, like, I was gonna get a job. I wasn't gonna like rely on my parents to pay for that monthly. But it was a valid thing to bring up. But also, like, I think he was using that as a cover up to make me like not get it. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. So that was 4 years ago. If I were to bring that up today, he's just gonna make another excuse. So it's just no point of like relying on him in that way. So it's annoying because I do like getting money. I do like getting money. I like having my own money. I like seeing money grow in my savings account. Like, that's the stuff I like. So obviously I'm not gonna sit around and just let like shit pile up or get my car repoed, because it's embarrassing. Like, I would feel like so embarrassed if my car got repoed, and then it ruins your credit. So, and I have really good credit, so I don't want to ruin that for me. But anyways, yeah, so then I don't know what I was talking about. Oh yeah, public transportation is 0 out of 10, wouldn't recommend. And then also the second bus that I take is a 50-minute frequency, so I have to wait like damn near an hour for my bus to come, just to come home, just to go to school. And it's very annoying because I have to make sure I have enough time in between so I don't become late. And it comes around the same time. On Friday it came earlier than I thought. Like 2 buses came really early, so I should have stayed there like at school longer, but I was so tired and I just didn't want to deal with just talking to people. So tomorrow I'm gonna have to stay up there a little bit longer to get things handled, because I do have an exam on Friday, and I still haven't I still don't have shit handled with the testing specialist, so that's been stressing me out. So yeah, but anyways, it's annoying because who wants to wait 50 minutes in the heat? So when I'm waiting those 50 minutes, I normally hang around in the campus and eat something before I leave, or I put on some sunscreen before I leave and make sure I go to the bathroom, because like it's a long way home. So it's just like it's longer just to go like leave my house than getting to school, because I live pretty far away from my school. And it's really annoying, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, but there was something else I was gonna bring up. Oh yeah, it was just a really stressful last few weeks at school, because at the disability office, like, they were snapping, like the front desk lady was like snapping at me. But I kind of noticed that every time I go up there to ask for any type of help on something, she's always complaining about there's always like a huge workload on her end. And I'm just like, in my head I'm like, what does this have to do with my question? Because at the end of the day, you picked this job, and clearly like you couldn't find anything else, so this is what you're settling with. But it is kind of rude that she seems to only tell me that, because whenever she talks to other people, she doesn't really tell them that. But I've been asking the front desk lady and even the testing specialist to schedule my 2 exams that are coming up really close together, and he stopped responding to me. So I have to go up there, because I did ask, like, I'm like, do I have to keep scheduling with you whenever I want to I have to do an exam? And she's like, no, you have to go up to him. So I have to go hunt him down, hope to God that he's on the campus one of these days, because I don't even know what this man looks like. I just know I'm supposed to be freaking talking to this man and scheduling with him. But it's irritating, because that whole disability office is unorganized and very unprofessional there. And I mostly have the gripe with the front desk lady, because she freaking complains a lot about the workload, and I get that it's overwhelming, but then again, you chose this job. So if you feel like you can't like handle this, then like look for another job. I don't understand why you put the burden on me on telling me that there's a lot of people in line and that there's a lot of people emailing you and I have to send a lot of email. Like, what does that have to do with me? If you're offering to help me and you're offering to send the emails to the testing specialist, like, why are you telling me this if you have so much to do? That's what frustrates me personally, because it has nothing to do with me. And it seems like it's a lot where she tells me these things, and it's just like, it was very annoying and unprofessional, honestly. Like, I didn't have this issue at the other place. It was more organized, and it was like a 2-second thing. And since these 2 exams are very close together, like, she was kind of pushing it to the side, and she was like, oh, well, you still have a lot of time to schedule it. I'm not gonna wait until the last minute to schedule my exams, because I don't know if he's gonna be there. No one knows when he's there, so I just am like kind of like pulling at strings here. No one knows where this man is ever, because I asked 2 different people, bro, and it's just really annoying. And I do know where his room is, I believe, but it's frustrating that I just feel like I'm not, like, no one's cooperating with me, and I feel like they push me to the side a lot, and it's just really unprofessional. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like taking this off, because I wore this in the shower, and like, I should have never done that. I completely forgot I even had it on me, but it's like not even really sticking that well. Like, it's lifting quite a bit. But I bought this new skincare product because I was very desperate. I was gonna buy a face wash by Derma E, but then I was like, I don't know if I want to like do that, because I feel like I'm gonna break out more from purging. So I'm like, I don't know if I want to buy a whole new face wash, but it was supposed to be for acne. But I was just like, I don't know what to do, like, I don't know what to do, and I was freaking out over that. So I bought this. I thought it was like a gel at first, but it ended up being like a calamine, like, it was like the Mario Badescu calamine lotion thing, but this one had like more ingredients in it that was supposed to help kill bacteria that creates pimples or whatever. So I'm gonna probably try that, because I've been breaking out really badly right here. I did just get off my period like a week or 2 ago, so I'm breaking out a lot right here, and then there's something right here, and then there's like right here. Like, there's a lot going on in my face right now. I think it's a mixture of anxiety, stress, and hormones, to be honest with you. But it's really crazy to me, because I haven't had this bad of a breakout in like 4 or 5 years, so it definitely freaked me out seeing it again, because I thought I had everything in the bag and I thought I had everything handled. But I guess I still have that problem where I can have a random breakout at any moment. But school and just life has been stressing me out, so it kind of makes sense on why I'm breaking out like this. And also, I've been eating really bad, so that's also a factor, because I've been eating a lot of junk food for the past few weeks now. But I literally don't know what to eat. Like, I don't know, like. And also, I have a hard time having an appetite for things because I'm constantly anxious, so it makes me not hungry, but then it makes me, like, it spikes my cortisol levels, so I feel like I look puffy sometimes. Like, when I look at videos of myself, like, I feel like I look a lot different from a couple years back, even last year. Like, sometimes I just I think I just tear myself apart a lot because I feel like the stress of school has definitely changed me a lot, and I could tell the difference in my body and how much it's taking a toll on me, because I used to not get freaking like a chin hair, but now every time I notice, like when I get off my cycle or something, that I have a chin, like one chin hair right here, and it's embarrassing because it's very like, it's not that noticeable, but it's also like, why did I have this? Like what, like why do I have all these issues? And then I also noticed that I started growing like kind of like mustache hairs right here, and then I was like, okay, that wasn't an issue like ever, so I don't understand like why I have that issue right now. So I have to make time to pluck them. I did shave them one time, but then I was like, I don't know if that's good to do. I only did it because I saw other girls do it, so I was like, am I supposed to be doing that? But then it said online that it's good to pluck them versus shave your mustache hairs if you're a woman. So I mostly pluck them, but it hurts like a lot. And then on top of that, I've been shaping my eyebrows a lot, and I don't know if it's good or not, but I just hated how bushy they looked because I didn't realize that until I started looking at myself in pictures, and I was like, damn, I should do something about that, because that kind of is annoying. No one's ever said anything about my eyebrows, like ever. They always, like, I've always gotten good compliments, but I feel like I felt like it was just looking kind of crazy sometimes. Father has a unibrow, so I was always paranoid of getting one because he has a lot of hair, and my mom doesn't have like a lot of hair like that, like on like facial hair, so it's like I would be getting it from him, honestly. So yeah, I don't know, I feel like I just look puffy sometimes, and I just don't like that look on me. And I have been working out a little bit more. I do walk around a lot, so I'm hoping that that helps, but I also just feel like I probably would lose more weight if I ate healthy, because I do walk a lot, and I do try to like implement some sort of movement, even if it's Pilates. I try to implement some sort of movement because I will get really depressed if I don't do anything. But anyways, yeah, but I did want to mention I started therapy a couple weeks ago. Like around my birthday, I started looking for therapists because I've been having a lot of like issues with my mental health, and also I've been having a lot of family issues. So I was like, I need to do something, because I can't just keep like venting to my only friend, and I feel like that's a lot on him. So I just really wanted some additional help. Normally I would vent to him or my mom, but my mom's been going through a lot with her own problems, so I just was like, the only option for me is to look for a therapist. So I went through a hotline initially, and then they directed me to a website, like a few websites. One of them wasn't even created yet, it was still a very new thing, but the one that was really working for me was psychology.com. Those are where you can find your therapist, and that's where I found mine. This isn't an ad, but that's how I found her. I reached out to like maybe 3 or 4 therapists, but the one that I have now was the only one that was really applying the pressure about wanting to have me as her client. And then I started seeing her almost immediately instead of like a waiting period, because there was a lot of therapists that were on that website that had specific needs. Like there was one that was like, oh, like I want to see patients that are in the military and are in those transitional periods where they're either like getting out or they're moving around a lot. So she preferred like families or something like that. There was some people that had like a preference over like people that have like faith. Like I don't know, that's another thing about trying to find a good therapist here, is that a lot of them are very faith-based, which I don't have any issues with you being like religious, but it's just not my preference, if that makes any sense. Because at some point it doesn't feel like it's really helping, because they'll try to slip in God in every conversation. And I'm pretty sure that's happened to me when I was seeing a therapist. Oh, he wasn't a therapist, he was a social worker, and it was under the military, and he would kind of like slip in, like it's a blur to me, but I did have to bring him up like a week ago, because she asked me my experiences with therapists. I was telling her that he was very manipulative, and he just didn't really seem like he cared about my feelings whatsoever. He gaslit me more than anything. So going there, I felt like I was just getting emotionally abused all over again. So I had a lot of trust issues, you know. Even though I knew at 19 that he wasn't a therapist, but it wasn't like a good thing for me. But I don't even know why I even went to him in the first place, because sometimes my mom would do that, like set up therapy for me, but I honestly, like, all I could remember during that time really was that I was really distraught about this dude that I was talking to since I was in high school, like breaking my heart. I've talked about him in my old videos several times. You'll probably hear him in the background in my older videos when I was still a teenager. But that's who I was talking about. That's who I'm talking about right now. Because I remember we fell off when I was like 19, and he started seeing someone else. And also I remember like he had like some family issues, but the thing is, he was seeing someone else. They were obviously like a couple at this point, but he still was talking to me. So I felt really uncomfortable, and I felt like it was like, because he was 18 at the point, I was 19, but it was like at a point where I was like, I felt like he was kind of stringing me along and trying to keep me on the back burner. So it was messy, I'm not gonna lie, because I should have like nipped it at the bud, and it found out like once he started seeing someone else, I should have just left it alone. But he was the only person that I had genuine feelings for. And the crazy part is, I've never met him in person. We were supposed to meet probably when I was 19, and we had a lot of plans for it, and it never happened because we're not together. So he considers me his ex, because we talked, I think last year or the year before. Like, I couldn't remember what year we talked, but I was the one that reached out to him, and I did it in a way because I think I was just missing him. So I just reached out to him, but I found out that he was still with her 6 years later. So I was kind of like, well, there's no point. In my head I was like, there's no point of us talking then. I was kind of wanting just someone familiar to talk to, but he was super duper excited to hear from me. I was super excited that he even responded back to me. But I told my mom about it, and then she's like, yeah, I think you should stop talking to him, because it didn't even last today. It didn't even last today. Technically he was supposed to call me, and then it never happened. And I think my mom felt like it was because his girlfriend found out and probably got upset, and that's why he never called me, because we were talking for a very long time throughout the day. But I don't know, I think I kept reaching, like trying to look for someone familiar, because I'm lonely. If I'm being honest, like, I'm a very lonely person. So it's just, I wanted someone familiar, and something reminded me of him, so I messaged him. And it's embarrassing to say that, but I think in the back of my head back then, I used to really hope that one day we'll get back together and stuff like that. But I had to stop thinking like that, because that's very toxic, honestly. I don't know, is it? But yeah, that's why. So when I was in therapy over this, I couldn't really even, I think I mentioned him a few sessions, and then I was like, well, this is not helping. For one, because he was like not a therapist, and for two, we were still talking on the low. So even during my therapy sessions, he was like messaging me. So I was just like, oh, this is embarrassing. But I generally haven't felt that same feeling in a really long time from someone. I think the only other time was when I was with my situationship back in 2022. I thought very highly of him. I felt very safe with him. But he's never been in a relationship, and I wanted a relationship with him, but I had to let that go because he wasn't looking for a relationship. And so we were just kind of just hanging out a lot. And I think what was nice about it is that it wasn't always a sexual thing. It was just someone to hang out with. But we did sleep together, but it wasn't a constant thing, which I liked, because I feel like I don't really like to rely on sex for connections. I would rather like try to understand like your mental and try to see how you think versus sex, because honestly, like, sex is not even that good. Like, it's really not. And honestly, like, when I think about getting to another relationship, I kind of get icked out having the thought of getting naked in front of another person and see those parts of me. Like, it kind of freaks me out because I'm just like, I don't really know. Like, I question if I'm asexual sometimes because I just don't know if I want to do that again. Like, honestly, like, I don't have any sexual desires, and I keep feeling like there's something wrong with me, because I normally, people after a long time, they'd be like, yeah, I want it all. Like I've been celibate for almost 2 years now, and normally people would start tweaking out and biting the curb by now, but I haven't really had that issue. I think I had maybe 1 or 2 times where I was like, go hang out with a dude. I was like, maybe I should, you know, give it up. But then they would give me the ick, and then I would get really grossed out. So then those feelings of me wanting to give the cookie up would go away, and then I'm like, okay, well, back to the drawing board. It wasn't ever like, it was just, I think it's just something to, like, there's nothing wrong with wanting it, but it's just like, I think at those times I did want it, but it's not something I crave. I think I crave more like non-sexual intimacy versus sexual intimacy. I think that's what it is, because I haven't had any type of intimacy since my last relationship, which was almost 2 years ago. And so it's been hard because I feel like I crave that more than anything else. Sometimes I feel like I'm not gonna get into a relationship again. Do I miss my ex? Not really anymore. I feel like ever since I turned 25, I was like, you know, we talked in January, but he reached out to me, and I was excited. I'm not gonna lie, I was excited, but he was deployed, so it's not like he lives here anymore. I don't think he's ever gonna be freaking stationed out here again. I think that was just a one-time thing, but honestly, like, I realized a lot of things. Like, I think he was scared for a lot of reasons, and I think he was insecure. I think he was worried about me cheating on him for some reason while he was deployed, because probably he heard a lot of stories about people doing that. So I was like, you know, he probably thought I was gonna do that. Because the real reason why he broke up with me was because he was getting deployed, and he didn't want a relationship while he was deployed, which is, it doesn't make sense, because you're gonna be doing probably a few years of your 20s of doing this, so you're going to be getting deployed probably a lot. So I didn't understand like how that worked, and it was just really annoying. He was a horrible communicator, like a really horrible communicator. Like, and then we wouldn't hang out outside of like the weekend, and then if we did, it was always at my house. and it just got boring. And it would get boring because we would talk for a little bit and then we would have sex, and then I'm like, oh well, then he would fall asleep next to me, and I'm like, this is not fulfilling because I'm not being talked to, I'm not being stimulated. I used to think really highly of him, I think because I thought he was really smart, but relationship wise he has so much to work on, honestly, because I was willing to work with him but he was not willing to work with me. And those are the things I thought about for a while now, like honestly, what am I missing? Because honestly, like, I was the one that was making the relationship lively, and I feel like once we got together, he didn't know what to do with me, because he was chasing me for months. We were in the talking stage for like 4 months, and he was chasing after me because I kept rejecting him. And then I felt like maybe he thought he wasn't gonna be able to be in a relationship with me, so when he got in a relationship with me, he was like, oh, I don't know what to do. And he seemed just very lost, even though he wanted a relationship. So I was like, okay, that's just weird, I don't know. Those are the things I think about. Like, you have to, I want someone that applies pressure and not get scared of like anything. Because I remember one time where my mom was like super duper drunk, and she was talking to me and him while we were out at the dining area, and I don't know what she was asking him in particular, but it was something about traveling, and he's like, oh, like something about the future. And I realized that when he was talking to my mom, is that he didn't include me in his future plans. He was like, oh, I want to travel by myself, this, that, and the third. And I was like, oh, that was probably like 5-ish months into our relationship, and it really hurt my feelings. My mom didn't know he was gonna have that like response. She was just genuinely curious. She just wanted to know more about him because he was a very quiet person. So it was hard to get him to talk, even to me. Like, it was hard for me to get anything out of him. He just was very like a hermit. So when I heard that response, I feel like it made me think very differently of him. And he would make these weird jokes towards me. And there's one time where we were just like chilling. I don't even know why he said this, but it did like hurt my feelings, and I never told anyone. But he was like, oh, I call you stupid all the time, you just don't ever catch it. And I was like, wow. And he thought it was like funny, he thought it was like a joke. And I just felt like, in a way, like he was kind of like jealous of me, because he would make fun of how I lip synced. He would always say that I was like really like I looked funny or something, like I didn't do it good. And at the point, I will say, back then I was really bad at it, but I think it's because I didn't like, they would be talking super duper fast and it would be hard to keep up. So I'm like, I don't know what the fuck they're saying. So I would lip sync really, really bad. So I would leave it alone, but also like, you're supposed to be my boyfriend, why are you dogging me like that? You know what I mean? So it did hurt my feelings. Like, he would make these weird comments towards me, and it just seemed like he just was spiteful, you know what I mean? Like, it just wasn't like fun. And I did think I thought I wanted it, but when I look back on it, I'm like, he had so much maturing to do. And I just feel like he just liked being alone. I don't know why he wanted a relationship if he just wanted to be alone in the first place. Like, I don't know. Like, I kind of am embarrassed that I even went out with him for a year. Like, I don't know. And I hate that feeling. But I just don't know what to say. Like, like I said, he make these weird digs towards me. And he didn't do it a lot, but it was a few times to remember where I'm like, I don't even do that to you, so I don't even know. Like there was times where he didn't like when I said the N-word. He would literally not talk to me. Like, he would completely ignore me, and I'm like in my face too. And I'm like, that's really weird. Like, because he felt like out of the bunch of people, he felt like I didn't deserve to say the N-word. So he was just like, I don't like when you say the N-word. You shouldn't be saying the N-word. This, that, and the third. I don't know why. And on top of that, I never met his parents, never talked to his parents on FaceTime or anything. I don't even know if they knew of me. to be honest with you. Even though they were all the way in Florida, I don't know if they even knew about me, and I questioned it when we were together. I was like, and I used to ask him, like, how come I don't know? How come I never talked to your parents or whatever? I didn't even know what they looked like. I didn't know their names. I asked him their names, and he was like, why do you need to know their names? Because I think he thought I was going to look him up on social media. And yes, I would have, because at least I would have known more about him. But like, bro, like, it's not hard. Like, I wouldn't like dox him or anything. I just wanted to know more about him. So he would make excuses about why I didn't get to talk to his parents, get to know his parents. He's like, I don't remember what he would say, but it's just something that he didn't do to all of it. Like, something about that. Like, I don't know. But it's just, when I look back on it, I'm just not really fond of it. And even my mom would be like, you seemed really miserable in that relationship, so I don't know why I would keep bringing him up so much when I was miserable. Like, I really don't know. And I just, at this point, like, I haven't brought him up. I don't think about him. I just hope him the best, honestly. Like, once he's grown, like, I don't know, hopefully he'll grow up one day, but it's not my responsibility anymore. It's not something I have to think about anymore. I just want something better and healthy for me, because at the end of the day, it wasn't healthy either. It's just, he was the first person that didn't put his hands on me when I was in a relationship with him. So it's just, I don't know. So I've been in therapy for like 2 weeks now, and it's been a lot. I've been trying to do some of the exercises that she sends me to do, but the thing is, like, she sends these exercises and they're from Pinterest, and she told me that, and I was wondering why it looked really weird, and it's because it's from Pinterest. So whatever we're talking about in therapy, and how I keep saying I feel overwhelmed all the time, she brings it up. And maybe I should bring him up in therapy so I can move on officially, so I don't have to repeat this situation over again. But I think I was embarrassed, and that's why I didn't tell anyone that, because like, everyone felt so highly of him, and also he met my extended family. But also, like, why am I protecting him? He didn't seem to give a fuck about me, so why am I protecting him? And that's why I've been moving like that, honestly. But anyways, so yeah, it's just, I don't know, I've been very stressed out. I've been very tired. I don't even know if I'm gonna edit this, because I'm not in the mood to edit, honestly. I've been really dreading editing a lot more, and I think it's because I've been super duper tired with everything. I haven't even studied for my government exam, by the way. I've been only studying for my biology exam because I thought I would have a little bit more time in between, but it's only, technically, if you think about it, like 2 days apart from each other. So I'm just like, well, I need to squeeze in some time to do that too. It seems like it's gonna be based on vocabulary and some scenarios, but it's just, the thing that also kind of stresses me out is that he wants us to write a summary before we get our exams. So it's basically like a ticket to get your exam, which I've never had before. So that's what stresses me out, because I don't know when he's gonna make us do that, because he's kind of too nonchalant for me, in my opinion. You haven't even been assigned any type of homework, so the homeworks kind of give me an idea of what to look out for and how the tests are going to look. That's how I see it, but I haven't had any homework in his class at all. I've been only having homework in my biology classes, so it's been a lot, honestly. But yeah, but on top of that, it's just, I don't know, I just don't like it. I'm not having any fun, and I'm also not learning anything in these classes. I feel like I'm just kind of skating by, and normally I try to learn. I learn something, you know, like up until this semester I feel like I haven't learned anything, and it's been almost a month in and I haven't learned jack-ish. And I'm just like, I don't understand why I can't learn anything, like why I can't retain anything. And it's probably because I'm super duper burnt out. And I think also because I don't really have a lot of break. I didn't have a lot of breaks this year. I just been kind of like working constantly working, and it's exhausting. And then I had that one break in between my summer class and my fall class, and then I had to go back. So I had only that 1 week off that I looked forward to for months, and then I had to go back, and I feel like I couldn't even enjoy it. Anyways, but yeah, I don't feel like I got to really enjoy my time off, or even just my days off in general. I don't feel like I get to really enjoy it because I'm always getting overstimulated in the house. So as of lately, my mom's been having a lot of mental health issues, and she's been having a lot of mental breakdowns close together. And it's stressful on me because I'm the one that's witnessing it the majority of the time. My brother hides in his room, and he doesn't, or he's at school at this point, so he doesn't understand like how intense it is to start your day off like that. And so there was like a time on last week where she was like she was grunting, and I was like, why is she grunting? So I yelled out like, what's going on? Because she sounded very frustrated about something. And then she's like, oh, there's bugs all over the place. And then I'm like, okay, I don't understand why there's bugs all over the place. Like, the house is clean, so I don't understand why there's bugs all over the place. So she started freaking out, screaming at the top of her lungs, and then she goes to my brother's room and sees why. Maybe that's the reason why they keep coming in here, because his room is a mess. So, and there's dust everywhere, there's dog hair everywhere, and he doesn't vacuum. My mom tells him to vacuum. She just did a couple days ago. He hasn't done it. So she was screaming at the top of her lungs because she was frustrated how messy it was, and she was saying that she felt like she doesn't ask for a lot, and it's like things are still not getting handled in the house. And the thing is like, I do help out a lot in the house, and I do get overwhelmed with the stuff I do because a lot of it is centered around the animals. And my brother, technically Storms is my brother's because he's the one that claimed her when we first got her. He was like, I call dibs on her. That's what he said verbatim. And then ever since he had gotten her, he stopped taking care of her. Like, it was kind of being pushed onto me slowly. And then my mom also takes care of her. She feeds her and she pays for her monthly plan. He was supposed to be taking her care of the monthly plan, but he stopped paying for it. So that went into collections, and then it was left on her, but then she started making him pay for it, and he had to send the money to her to pay for it because it recently just went up for some odd reason. And then also on top of that, the dog food, it's very expensive. She was paying like hundreds and hundreds of dollars weekly on dog food, but he would barely chip in. So it's a lot on her, it's a lot on me, because taking Wolf to the vet is never easy for me because he's super duper anxious, and he gets kind of grumpy too, and it's just a lot on me. And then I have to take Storm to the vet, and then I have to take I have to pay for the, you know, just getting there, and it's a lot. It's like $60 back and forth, and it's a lot, honestly. And I just feel like he kind of like, I just feel like honestly taken advantage of a lot of the times because I'm the one walking her, I'm the one taking her to the vet, she's the one paying for the expenses. It's a lot financially. He's never taken her, like he's taken her to the groomers like once, and that was like a long time ago. And that was even annoying because my mom gave him money to get there, and he freaking used half of the money getting there and then walking back home. He walked back home, which was probably like a 50-minute walk. So he used that money that my mom gave him on Uber Eats, and this is when he didn't have money at all. So he used her money without telling her for some Uber Eats, which was very inconsiderate because honestly, like, he could have sent the money back easily, and it's annoying. I've had to pay for things for my mom, like her medicine. Like she had like really bad arm issues like a month ago, and she couldn't even move it, and I was helping her do exercises. She was crying because she was in excruciating pain and she didn't have money, and so I sent her money because I didn't know how much it was going to be. So I sent her like $60, and I don't have money like that. I just save things. I just save my money, so I don't have money like that. But she does look to me to be like, oh, you have money, like whenever she needs help, because he never saves. So it's kind of like, what does your contribute to being in here if you're not gonna really help out? You know what I mean? Like, he hasn't paid her in 4 or 5 months, and it's been a lot on her financially. I don't have a lot of money like that, so I can't give her like my full check when I still have to, you know, get from A to B, and also I still have to pay for their care, and on top of that I have to pay for subscriptions. So I can't give her like my full paycheck, and it's not like she asked me to, but it's still like I feel bad watching her just struggle like that. I feel like a lot of the stressor is just from not getting enough help, and I feel like it's mostly geared towards my brother, because like he's the one that kind of is just using all the resources and not really helping out. So she's not enjoying the remainder of her paychecks because she's paying for everything. That's what I mean. So I had to talk about that in therapy, because it's been kind of weighing on me, because I don't feel like it's fair for someone to be 22 and just kind of feel like they can skate by and not help out. That's what I don't really like, because I think that's what he's doing, because he's just kind of like, well, mom got it, well, mom got it, well, mom will clean it up. Like, that's not fair, you know what I mean? And I will say, I've made some messes, and I would just kind of deal with it later, but then she would get to it and then she would get frustrated. But I would tell her I would get to it later, but she would get to it before me. But I stopped doing that because I realized like that's kind of annoying, and I should have just dealt with it in the moment instead of letting it sit. With him, he lets it sit, and he knows that one of us is gonna clean it, so he just is kind of like acting like we're his maids. He has like no regards of it. It's like very annoying, honestly, and it's very hard to confront him on this because he is very manipulative. Like, he uses fake tears to get out of situations. He uses like, he lies a lot about things. He's just very defensive all the time, and he's just always in a bad mood. So it's like, it's very hard to talk to him about anything. You could even ask him, how was your day? He'll roll his eyes, and it's been like that ever since my dad moved out. And I'm just like, if you miss dad, just move with him. Like, I don't understand why you're making us live in misery because you're miserable. Like, that's literally what my dad did. That's what feels like, honestly, because some of the stuff he does is very learned traits from my father. Like the excessive long showers. Why do you need to take a long shower when the bathroom smells like nothing? Why do you need to make a bunch of noise in the morning when people are still sleeping? Why do you make a bunch of mess? Because you know that one of us is gonna clean it. Because you are lazy. That's the stuff that I talk about in therapy, because I'm exhausted, I'm drained. She's telling me how frustrated she is with him, and I'm telling her how frustrated I am with him, because I noticed that he started freaking leaving the toilet clogged and using a shit ton of toilet paper that I pay for. I pay $20 for freaking toilet paper, even more than that, and he's using like the majority of the roll on just one bathroom visit. And then when I go to the bathroom thinking everything is fine, I notice that the toilet isn't flushing, and I'm like, oh great, there's 2 different plunges in there. So it's not like there wasn't anything available. He was just waiting for me to do it because he knew that I was gonna fix it. This is what I'm talking about. Like, he literally has no regards of anyone. He doesn't even bother to try to freaking fix it. He just waits until I get to it because he knows that I'll get to it. He knows I'm gonna be the next one there. And then I'm gonna be like, great, like, I'm spending time plunging this toilet when I'm supposed to be out of the house already. Why am I doing that? Because he left it for me. He left a little present for me. For what? Like, why? Like, why do I keep getting burdened with a bunch of stuff that isn't my responsibility? Like, that's what's frustrating. And I'm telling her, he's purposely doing this. I could tell. He's purposely doing this because he knows that he can get away with it. And he knows that if we address anything with him that has regards with food or just anything with responsibility wise, he gets defensive, he gets offended, and he starts trying to cry it out. And because he knows that one of us is going to feel bad. But I had to stop feeling bad because I noticed it was a pattern. He does it a lot. So I'm just like, this is annoying. Like, mom told him the other day to clean up after himself. He's huffing and puffing. For what? For what, bro? For what? She asks so little of us. And then the second that she's asked you something, you're like, oh. That is him on a daily basis. And it's so hard not to go off on him because it's just like, bro, like, why are you here? Why are you here for real, dead ass? Like, it's gotten me questioning, like, if I should move out first, because I'm just like, I can't live like this. I can't deal with this anymore. It's getting to be too much. I have so much other shit to be worried about, but I go from one stressor to another. And like, my only break is school at this point, even though it stresses me the fuck out. But at least I know that it's familiar, and I know that it's like, I know what's coming. But with at my house, it's just constant. It's constant. It's constant. And I feel like I can't ever process my own emotions because I'm always comforting my mom. I'm always helping her. And then when I was like very frustrated like a couple weeks ago about how my brother came late, and I was like, she was like saying that she was gonna call the police because she didn't know where he was. He turned off his location for unknown reasons, like maybe last year. And I was like, maybe you should just wait a little bit. Like, I don't want you to just quickly go to that route because he could be up the street. That's what I said. And then he comes back in with her, and then she was telling me that like maybe she should stop worrying about us so much, and that she was saying it was hard to live with me because I was showing annoyance because I'm overwhelmed. And I've told her before that I get overwhelmed because I'm getting told all the time there's something broken, there's something that, like, it's something all the time. Wouldn't you be frustrated too if someone is constantly coming up to you every single day and telling you something is wrong with this, something is wrong with that? I feel like Wolf is dying. He's completely fine. He's just uncomfortable. He just has arthritis. He has allergies. He is not dying. This is the stuff I want to say to her, but she doesn't listen to me. She doesn't understand. And it's not that I don't like her. I just don't like her OCD. That's what I don't like, because it will go from 1 to 1,000 with her OCD. And living with her OCD has been very, very hard. I just been seeing her suffer with her OCD my whole childhood, not getting treated for it. And I'm just like, it's gotten so much worse over the years. And it's just a lot on me because she tells me all her triggers. She tells me everything. And it's like, this is why I go to therapy now, because I don't know where, I don't have any outlets. I can't go on TikTok because I don't really know if I should take my business out on TikTok, because people are either gonna be like, well, just suck it up, or my mom's gonna be like, I didn't know you felt like that. I've been feeling like this for a long time. And for me to actually make the plug, pull the plug and actually get help is crazy, because I've been sitting with that for a long time. Like, I didn't want to do it, but I feel like I needed to do it. because I was just like, well, I have a lot of things I need to address with myself, and I don't want to bring that burden to someone else, so let me get therapy for it. It's mentally exhausting. Like right now, the kitchen sink is not working. For some reason, it's clogged. I think there's something blocking it, so it can't move efficiently out of the system. But it's been annoying because that's $300 right there, and who has that laying around? And I'm just tired. We were trying to fix it for like what felt like hours yesterday. I got mold and old food all over my shirt for us to find out that it's still not working. So I sat there, was trying to find different ways to get this shit working again, to find out that it's not working. So I wasted so much of my time, wasted resources just for it to not work. And it seemed like it's a huge clump of debris or something. Like it seems very large. We tried soda, we tried baking soda and vinegar, we tried hot water, and it seemed like we were getting progress, but it seemed like it also, nothing was happening after a while. It seems very stagnant. So I can't wash my dishes in the sink. I have to figure out how to wash my dishes, so I started using the bathroom sink because I'm like, I don't know where else to do it at, and I can't just sit with dirty dishes in my room. That's kind of gross. So it's just annoying because it's always, this is what I mean by it's always something. And then my therapist is always like, oh, find a safe place, try to find things to de-stress. And then every time I try to de-stress, I'm getting hit with more problems. I'm always being told there's something wrong with this, there's something wrong with that. Like, it's a lot, but no one understands except for my therapist. Like, I kept thinking maybe I'm being selfish, maybe I should be there for my mom more. But what about me? Like, what about me? Because I can't even process my own emotions because I'm worried about her all the time. So I'm just like, well, when do I have time to process my own emotions? When do I have time to like de-stress and sit with my emotions and let myself cry it out? I can't, because I'm always like, well, I have to do this, I have to do that. Like, I don't have time. I don't even have time for that because I feel like I have to push that stuff down to deal with whatever is coming. It's annoying. So it's like, it makes sense on why I feel the way I do, because it's just more constant than usual. I used to be able to hear people's problems all the time, and that's why I felt like, oh, this is perfect because I'm in the psychology field. I should learn how to deal with other people's emotions since I want to be paid for this. But as of the last few months, I haven't been able to do that. And it got me questioning if I even want to keep doing the psychology thing. I'm 2 years into college and I'm already second guessing if I want to do psychology. And I kept feeling a lot of guilt about it because I'm just like, well, what am I gonna do? Like, it's one of the good paying jobs and it was something I wanted to do. And I'm like, do I really want to do it? Or do I just like learning about it? I don't know. But honestly, no, I thought about that. And then I realized, like, I wanted to work in it. I had plans. It's just, they're not out here, for one. And for two, it's a lot of work. I wanted to get my bachelor's in psychology. That was the plan. But every time I look at the other options, it's not appealing to me. The only thing that was appealing to me was like something in the medical field or psychology. I thought about business, but that's a lot of math. That's a lot of math that I don't want to do. I'm gonna be stuck in college forever because I'm not gonna be able to pass it because it's only gonna be harder and harder. Like, I could have sworn there's accounting in that, and I don't want to do accounting. I'm sorry, but no. But no offense to people that do business, but I feel like that's also like the most basic one. Everyone is always doing business at my school. But I don't know, I also feel like I just need a break. Like, I've even thought about just dropping out and going back to work. Like, that's how bad it's been getting. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I feel very lost right now. Like, but I also want a degree, so I don't know. I thought about getting another part-time job, but every time I look for some, they're either really far out or they're just really bad pay out here. How are we getting bad pay and also getting abused? Like, what is the point, honestly? Like, all for a freaking $60 check. What is the point? Like, it's not fair at all. But I don't know. Like, there is barely anything. Like, I got like a message saying like, oh, you can get paid from like your notes. So I wanted to check that out because I don't know how that works. Never done it before, but I do feel like I do take a lot of good notes. So I was like, maybe I should invest in that. But also, I hate going in the disability office because they're so annoying and unprofessional, and just, it feels like they just treat it as like in and out, in and out, in and out, and I don't really feel like I'm getting the real help that I needed. And like, I could easily freaking report her to the dean, but I feel like they're not going to take me seriously because they're probably going to be like, well, that's just how it is. But I feel like there's something really wrong with how they move over there. Like, it's just very unprofessional and it's just very unorganized. I don't know why they would have a bunch of people just waiting in the waiting room and barely getting tended to, and then they're staying there until like 5 p.m. Like, why? Because that was me on the first week of school, just trying to get accommodations. And on top of that, I was supposed to be getting a note taker in my history class, in my government class. I haven't gotten one. They haven't found a person for that yet. So on top of that, like, they haven't like fixed my thing where I can record the lectures. And because she told me that they don't have a lot of licenses to do that, and my thing expired like literally in August, like when I started fall semester. Like, no, it expired on my birthday, and I didn't know until I started school. I thought I had it until the rest of the year because I had it this whole time, but it expired on my birthday. So I was like, great. I asked her about it and she's like, oh, we don't have a lot of licenses. So it sounded like a no to me, but it sounded like she did want to do it. I'm also like, come on now, like, why are they making everything like 50 times harder there? Like, I don't even know why they're there. So I'm gonna have to probably bring up, but also then again, in government, I don't feel like I'm learning anything. I feel like half of it is freaking participation, because our grade, like, for some reason 10% of our grade in biology and in government is based on attendance, which I hate when our grade is based on attendance, because anything could happen in the next 4 months. Like, anyone could be getting sick, anyone could need a time, like, you know, like, I don't understand. Like, so my mom has a trip coming up out of state to visit her coworker, and I've been really stressed out because she leaves really early on Wednesday, and so essentially I would be missing 3 days of school because she would be gone for like 4-ish days, 5-ish days or something like that. And so I'm gonna be having to figure out if we have anything like, I have a syllabus, but sometimes like they switch things up in the syllabus. They were like, oh, I want to start this a little early, or we can push this back. They do this a lot, so I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on in that week. So I'm gonna have to probably read on my own, but missing 3 days of school is honestly crazy because I'm gonna be missing so much information. The good thing is I have a note taker in biology, but it's still like I'm missing a lot of information. Like, what if something is on the next exam? Like, this is a lot of things I have to put in perspective. Like, the reason why I have to miss school is because I have to take care of the animals, and we all know he's not gonna do it, so I have to do it. So it's gonna be put on me again. We were thinking about leaving him alone for like one of those days, but I only am allowed 5 excused absences in my government class. So that means I'm using the majority of my absences just for her going out of town. It's so mind-boggling to me because I have to hope and pray that I don't get sick again. I have to hope and pray that no one's gonna get sick in the next few months, because I don't want to use all of my absences on nothing. But like, if I leave him alone, then I'm gonna be picking up so much messes, and because Storm is gonna be pissing everywhere, because she's gonna be like, well, no one's taking me out, I'm just gonna piss on the floor. Like, and then Wolf is gonna probably poop on the floor too, and it's just gonna be a lot. I don't want to clean that up when I get home. So I just am at a standstill. I kind of don't want to do anything. I honestly don't want to. I don't want to miss school. I don't. Like, I just wish that she didn't have to do this, but it was kind of like a surprise thing. I was there when her friend purchased the tickets, but I didn't realize how long it was gonna be. And I thought it was gonna be a weekend thing, because if it's the weekend, I'm totally Gucci with it, but it's getting very close to when she's supposed to leave, and I don't think she can change it. And then when she tried to change it online, she couldn't find the information. So I'm like, I don't feel like I'm gonna have to leave. I'm gonna have to miss school for this. So that gives me a lot of anxiety, because like, it's kind of like I wish someone that I could trust can come in here and just be like, hey, can you just check if they have food and water? Maybe give the guinea pigs a snack, and maybe walk one of them, walk one of the dogs, because I know that Storm is not going to go in the yard. Like, I just wish I had someone to do that, because it would take off a lot of stress off of me. And yeah, but it's just, I don't have anyone for that. I just have to do it on my own. So that's the part that sucks, dealing with 7 animals on my own. It's not gonna be super bad, it's just gonna be overwhelming. Hopefully during that, oh no, I won't. Maybe I will. I'm hoping that I get paid one of those towards the end. It'll be like the 29th. I don't think I'll get paid on the 29th. Darn. The reason why I say that is because the guinea pigs are running out of produce, and I could go to the grocery store and get it, but I don't think I'm gonna be getting paid around that time. It's normally around like the 30th or the 1st, or if it's like a shorter month, it'll be like the 29th or something. Like, it's not any earlier than that, but it's just, I'm just so tired. But my neck is hurting. I'm recording for what feels like hours. I feel like I got most of my issues out. I'm hoping that this therapy thing works. I really just reached out to her because like, I needed someone to talk to. And if I do, like, I thought about getting on anxiety medication, but I try to do everything naturally. But even the natural methods, like the ashwagandha, it's not working for me. And I heard that if you're on it for an extended amount of time, it causes thyroid issues. I don't know if that's true or not, but I just recently learned that, and I was taking it for like a really long time, probably like months. But I don't use it now because I don't want to have thyroid issues. So I'm just kind of like raw dogging my anxiety. I don't even really watch ASMR videos anymore because I don't even feel like it's really working anymore. I don't know what's going on, but normally it calms me down, but for some reason it's not calming me down. I listen to meditation music because my therapist told me to try that, and that was helping. It's just there is a specific one that I like, but I can't remember the name of the title, but it's just some of them sound really loud and not super soothing, and then some of them sound really low, not really soothing. But I do like sound bath videos, like those are very calming to me. I play it on my Switch. Should I take this off? Ow. Ooh. Yeah, look at this. Like, it garnered so much weird spots. Like, I don't even know what these spots are for. So I don't know. I thought about it, but then I realized, like, even if I did anxiety meds, I heard so many like weird questionable things about it. Like, it makes you lose your appetite, and also it numbs you. It doesn't really like help. Like, it helps people because it numbs it, but it's just numbing you, so it numbs all your emotions about it. Because I've been really desperate about it, but it's just like I grew up on people my age using it, and I saw like how skinny they would get. It was like ADHD meds and I think anxiety meds or something. But bro, like, I remember being a kid and seeing like my friends' bones protruding out because he was on so much medication that he didn't have an appetite. And so my mom had to go over there and be like, hey, like, and try to make it fun, make eating fun, because his mom was yelling at him because he wasn't eating at dinner time. So he would sit at the table for hours and hours and hours just staring at the food and watching it get cold because he's not hungry because he was on so much medication. Creepy, because honestly, like, whenever we would go to the pool, I would see his like bones just poking out of his back, and it was creepy because like his brothers didn't look like that. So I was just like, why does he look like that? I'm thinking it was like fast metabolism, but I think I remember being like being really concerned about it because I'm like, why does he look like that? Because I was very skinny too, but I was not having like bones protruding out, you know what I mean? The therapist and I were talking about it. She's like, she's not the type of person that prescribes medicine. She's just the one that suggests it if she feels like therapy isn't working for them. That's what she told me. Because some people, like, they don't need, like, I never heard of it before, but like some people just like feel like therapy is not working and they need like actual medications to get through the day. But I understand why people are medicated. I honestly get it, because literally within the first session I got diagnosed with depression and anxiety, and it was crazy because I have never been diagnosed with anything in therapy. The only time I really was like questioning if I had something was when a therapist was like, oh, you have a dissociative problem. But it wasn't like I had DID. She didn't say like a specific term for it. She just said you have a dissociative problem. That's how she said it. But with this therapist, she was like, you have anxiety and depression, which I've always known since I was probably 11 years old. I think I started displaying symptoms around 11 years old, but I think it was more noticeable when I was a teenager because I wasn't like taking care of myself, so, and it was a lot more noticeable. But I feel like there's something else wrong with me though. Like, I don't know, but it's just like I already knew those things. I wasn't really like that shocked about it. I just was like, why wasn't I diagnosed beforehand? It was so obvious. That's the thing. Like, but I just feel like I definitely have a dissociative problem. That's really what I feel like I have. But it's just like, it's annoying. I wish I didn't have it. I don't know why people like try to make it cute. It's kind of annoying because I'm like, I don't find any of it cute because I'm over here thinking I'm being lazy and overreacting over my problems sometimes, and I'm like, I actually do have a problem. These are very much symptoms of depression and the anxiety. I've been trying to figure out for like weeks on why I don't have an appetite. It's because of my anxiety. I kept thinking, I was like, this reminds me of when I was a kid, when I didn't want to eat because I had so much anxiety in the morning, and I have that now. Like, it's constant, and even though I know what's coming, I still have anxiety about it. And I think it's because, like, with my exams, I'm like, oh, I don't know, like, how much it's gonna weigh on my grade. And then again, it kind of makes me anxious because I'm not learning anything in my class. So I'm like, how am I gonna pass these exams if I'm not genuinely learning anything? I'm just basing it off of trying to memorize this shit now. The good thing is that in my biology class I can use a note card, which I do need to finish sometime this week. Now that I remember, maybe I should do that today because I don't have anything else to do. But I am like thankful for that, but I wish I had some sort of help in the government too, because it's a lot of terms to remember and like it's annoying. And on top of that, like, it's a political based class, and I'm always a little bit nervous about that because I live in a conservative state, and obviously, like, I already know I'm not going to come across a bunch of liberals. I don't consider myself a liberal. I don't consider myself a conservative, but I think I sound more conservative than liberal a lot of the times. But I don't want to call myself a conservative because I don't agree with everything that a conservative does. I just agree with some of it. But he asked us if we're all liberals or conservatives, and I don't feel like it's I know it's in the curriculum, but right now is the most tense time to be talking about politics because Charlie Kirk passed away a couple days ago, and a lot of people are getting like doxxed and scrutinized and threatened for talking about their political opinions right now. So I'm like, I don't want to be at risk at school if I don't agree with these people. Like, that's the thing. Like, this is the most tense time. I don't even know if he understands what's going on social media, but I'm just saying, like, from a viewer standpoint, right now everyone is just talking about Charlie Kirk this, Charlie Kirk that, and it's becoming kind of crazy on social media right now. People are recording people threatening them at work and threatening to hurt them, and it's really a crazy time. So I was very uncomfortable answering the questions that he was asking us, even though I knew it was gonna happen. But I didn't think that man was gonna die, you know what I mean? I feel sad for the family. I will say that. I used to watch his videos because I thought he was entertaining. Do I believe with some of his takes? No. No. But I just am like, I'm very I have empathy over the situation. There's a lot of people that don't have empathy and they're open about it on social media, and those are the ones that people are targeting right now because they feel like he did a lot to society, and they feel like he I don't know how to explain it, honestly. I didn't know he had that big of an aura to that many people, because he's gaining a lot of followers right now as he's like in the ground. Actually, he's not in the ground yet. He's still in a casket. He's supposed to be transported to Chandler, Arizona right now, but his death has been extremely publicized right now, which is kind of daunting in a way, because a bunch of people, millions of people, saw this man die on camera and in person, right? That wasn't supposed to happen. No one was expecting that. So people are still like bringing that up and still traumatized from that, right? But then there's another side of people that are like, oh, I'm gonna celebrate it. People are mocking his death, and they're like, oh, protect your neck next time, and using Wu-Tang Clan lingo over this situation because he got shot in the neck, like, and it went through, like, he died immediately pretty much. So it's a really weird time right now. It's a very scary time right now. So I try not to talk about politics for this very reason, because you never know who's going to be watching and who's going to be upset with your take. Because I think I have talked about some things on social media. People didn't, I don't remember if people got upset. I'm just going to assume that people did, but still, I tried to not talk about that for the very reason that people get way too sensitive and way too in their feelings about how other people feel. And how other people feel should not affect your day like that, honestly. Like, we have the right to freedom of speech, and people are exercising that. So I don't understand why people get super upset when they do not share the same values of you. That's what I don't like about social media. A lot of people are on following Tasia Alexis because she was talking about Charlie Kirk, but I'm pretty sure that people knew for a very long time that she was right-wing. But now they're bringing it up again that she's a Republican. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother my day-to-day, but a lot of people are like, I'm gonna follow her. I don't understand why you have to make a post about it. Just do it and be quiet about it. Like, I don't understand. It's really annoying that you have to make a whole post about it. I think they just get off on the fact of canceling people. They want to see these people fall all the time. Like, the reason why these parties are available is for you to be able to choose. They're not there for decoration. Okay, like, I don't understand why people get mad that there's people that are Republicans. Like, they're there for a reason, you know. But maybe I'm just weird, maybe I'm just woke, I don't know. But I get kind of annoyed when people go in these frenzies and they're just like, I don't follow this person because of this, I don't follow this person because of that. Okay then, like, you don't have to make a whole post about it. Like, and it is people unfollowing people that they grew up with because they have different views as you. My cousin, my younger cousin on my mom's side, posted about Charlie Kirk. I haven't seen anyone talk about Charlie Kirk on my side, like from people that I grown up with. He was saying like no one should die over their political opinion, which rightfully so. But many people have over the years. This isn't a new thing at all. And it has been publicized before. Some of them has been recorded, but they just been taken off the media. But this Charlie Kirk thing, I feel like it's going to be circulating for a while because people have turned it into a meme, like his dead body into a meme. And that's where I draw the line. Like, that part is very morbid to me. Like, that's type of dark humor that I don't think I can get around. I don't think I could sit with personally, because it's just not my forte. I can get down with dark humor, but there is a level to dark humor that I can't get with, and that's where it is. Because the amount of times I've seen this man's dead body on my For You page over like people turning him into a meme, it's crazy. It's kind of like dehumanizing him. But also, you know what, I'm gonna stay quiet. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I feel weird about disrespecting the dead, because I don't want it coming back to me or anyone that I know, even though it's inevitable, it's unpredictable, and it can happen to anyone. But it's also like, people are just so okay with playing with the dead. It's so weird to me. It's creepy, it's scary, because they literally are praising the man that shot him, and they're like turning him into like a Halloween costume. But I'm not gonna say anything about that because I don't want to make this a political video. But it's just, it's not the time. What I'm saying is, it's not the time to talk about politics right now. I know it's in the curriculum, I know I have to suck it up and deal with it. It's just a very uncomfortable time for not only me, but a tons of other people. I don't even know if they know. I'm pretty sure they know about it. I'm pretty sure my teacher knows about it, It's just, he's probably thinking as, well, it's in the curriculum, I'm gonna have to talk about it, but it's just, it's uncomfortable. And also, like, he's making it so like it's supposed to be an open discussion, but I can already feel that there's going to be a lot of tension when it comes to certain deeper topics, because when it came to like military funding and the government, you know, if you're a liberal, you know, that stuff, like, it got tense. I'm gonna end the video here. My throat is kind of hurting after talking for so long, and I didn't know that was a thing, but it's been hurting for like a little while and I've been kind of ignoring it, but I think I should stop ignoring it, honestly, because it's kind of uncomfortable. I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time with a new one. Bye, guys.